Happy daylight savings time, everybody. Yeah, for the sake of making sure more people had a better opportunity to find themselves awake this morning, I decided to wait just a little bit longer before actually recording this video. And if any of you guys are feeling the strain or feeling anything like that, well, now you shall suffer the same fate as I. No, I'm only kidding, of course. It's not really, I mean, I get why we have to do this, because, some people really do need that extra hour. Some people, a lot of people really could stand to not go through with this. But, it's life, I guess. So, with that being said, actually one thing that, because I was in church last night, and the priest actually said something pretty interesting during his homily. He said, it's just going to take a little longer for the sun to get here. And considering it's almost 9 a.m. at the time of this recording, post-daylight savings time actually, post-spring forward specifically, and the sun is just barely, it's out, but it could be more out, I guess. Yep, we're here. So, honestly, yesterday evening, pretty uneventful, actually, one thing that was different, first things first, good morning, happy Sunday, everybody. We're now in the first full week. We just finished our first full week of March, so it's now a new week. Technically every new day is, a clean slate, but, if in case your week was bad originally, we can use this opportunity to, make this week even better. And I'm looking forward to this week because there's actually quite a few things going on. First things first, I am going to be going to church again this morning because I said that in observance of Lent, I will be going to church twice a week, once on Saturday night and once on Sunday morning. And actually, I think I timed doing this pretty well because, I can just simply, essentially leave for church after getting all my affairs in order here. In case you guys are wondering, technically, yes, I am ready for church. Underneath this jersey, and this robe, I'm wearing my jeans for what I'm wearing, and my nice outfit for later. So, apparently I have fun everywhere I go. Anyway, actually, if you'll notice correctly, I figured that during the month of March, and this is something that I'll also do, on weekends when I dress up, go out and do things, like go to church, for instance, I will wear something, of green caliber, of green nature, something with green in it, is what I'm trying to allude to. Next week, I actually have something really special planned in terms of what I'm wearing. It's not bombastic or over the top, but with that being said, it will be used in preparation for what will be going on 1 week from today, which I'm really excited for. And I am definitely going. In case you guys didn't already know, it's the world's largest human shamrock attempt. Yeah, we're doing it now. I've said this before, but since you guys are probably tired from the daylight savings time strain, that will be nice. Basically, a year ago, the city of Elmira tried to make the world's largest shamrock formed by a group of people. They gave us all ponchos and, we had to form a giant shamrock out of it. We did succeed in breaking the record in terms of number of people. However, there were gaps in the shamrock, so it didn't count. This year, though, we're going to be doing it again. And this time with gusto. I'm personally bringing my parents with me. Yeah, they're gonna meet me there. It's gonna be awesome. Although, I should probably take the time during the week to point out that a year ago when I did it last year, it was actually really cold. It wasn't below freezing, obviously. In fact, it was actually nice and sunny. I think it was 33, 35, somewhere in that area. It was pretty nippy. Like, I remember dressing up pretty nice. Nice and, sort of heavy clothing sort of type stuff to make sure it was nice and warm for the event. Because once I got there, that was pretty much it. After I left my car, I didn't go back to my car until everything was all said and done. Which, we were there for a good while. I think we were there for like an hour or something, like 90 minutes or something. I forget what it was. But anyway, so actually that also brings up a point. Because when they did the world's largest shamrock, I think they did it like, gosh, it was early when they did it a year ago. I think it was like 9:30 when they did it. And I had shown up like not 10 minutes beforehand. Or like not 5 minutes before like they ran out of ponchos. See, what they did last year what they didn't do last year, what they are doing this year is they're pretty much going to give last year what they did was they gave anyone a poncho who just happened to show up and wanted to be a part of it. And if you missed it, oh well. This year, you're going to show up, get in line, get moving on into the Shamrock, and they're going to give you your poncho as you walk in. Which, got myself a little bit of a notification right there. I did do my XFL picks today, so I'll get to that momentarily. Where was I? Oh, yes. So, yeah, you're just going to get your poncho and just walk right on in. They did it in the baseball field is where they had it. And no kidding, last year was the first time I've been at Eldridge Park since probably 2007. Last year, so a good 12 years. It was a long time. And for my parents, it's going to be since probably my brother was doing travel soccer all those years ago. So it's going to be a pretty big day. My only concern is, since I go to church at 10:30 on Sundays, I don't know exactly when the service gets out. And I know it's going to be packed at Eldridge Park. Like, to put things into perspective, if anyone's ever gone to church on like Christmas Eve or Easter Sunday morning, it's going to be that packed. Only lots more people because we're outside and therefore you have the space to, facilitate that. But yes, it's going to be pretty big. And I'm excited for it. Cannot wait. By the way, I know you can't really tell, but I actually did sort of style my hair like the way I normally do. Although, it's so funny, because I'm styling, using the blow dryer, comb my hair. This thing was dry in like 10 seconds. Well, the top was. I mean, I had to do like the back too, because it's actually like, for me, the back is like the one thing I always seem to forget to do. Like, I mean, my eyes are right here. But, people would tend to like look at the front. You know what I mean? But, I'm trying to be better about that. So, yes, that, my hair actually is styled. Can't really tell. After church, there's going to be a diaper party at the Illegal Tap House. Maybe I'll see some of you guys there. It should be awesome. Cannot wait. For those of you guys who don't know, a diaper party is essentially like a baby shower, but for guys. Basically, I bring like a roll of diapers and, I get to have a good time, which would be nice. I like going to the illegal. I never say this enough, but the Illegal Tap House is actually a really cool place. I never really say that enough. When I should, because the times I've been there, I really enjoyed myself. And I'm positive that today shouldn't be much different. But you never know. Well, I'd like to remain optimistic on that. Although after church, I'm going to have like a almost 3-hour period of time. Like, what am I going to do? I'll probably like to get myself some breakfast afterwards, I suppose. I'll have to see. What am I going to do? Oh well, I'll think of something, I guess. So, actually, let me make my XFL picks now before I forget. And in case any of you guys are wondering, yes, there's going to be a new manga chapter out today. in less than like 4 hours. Believe me, I want to do a reaction so bad, I'll have to wait until tomorrow. But I haven't really read into anything, but I heard some pretty big things are happening. So, let's see if we can at least look at the XFL picks for today. So, I ended up being right about the Houston Roughnecks. I'm pretty sure the Houston Roughnecks are the #1 seed overall. I think they're going to be... Seattle actually gave them a pretty good fight. They really did. Just Houston ended up being a little bit better. And the New York Guardians... I should badmouth my state more often, but I'm worried since I live in my state, people would probably try and kill me. I'm not going to risk that. But what I will say is that I'm happy the New York Guardians won. I'm actually kind of glad I was wrong. And now we can move on to today's games, which are the St. Louis Battlehawks versus the DC Defenders, and the Tampa Bay Vipers versus the Los Angeles Wildcats. Yes. So, the DC Defenders had a very devastating loss a week ago to the Tampa Bay Vipers. And needless to say, they're hungry for a victory after like 2 weeks of not winning anything. And the Battlehawks, they're good. I won't go so far as to say I'll go with my gut on this one. I'll pick the St. Louis Battlehawks. Shout out to my one teacher from Trinity Pauling who's apparently rooting for him. And now the Tampa Bay Vipers and the Los Angeles Wildcats. Tampa Bay completely destroyed DC. They're capable of doing well. But if they want to make the playoffs, they got to go for, like, a win streak from here on out just to even have a chance. It should be fun to see, but I'm pretty sure the Los Angeles Wildcats are going to get their number. So, yes, I'm picking the St. Louis Battlehawks and Los Angeles Wildcats to win today. There we go. So, yeah. That takes care of that little number. And, as long as I was talking earlier about places I never mentioned enough, I'll talk about what happened last night. So, last night, the place that my father, my grandmother, and I usually go to dinner, which is the Central in Painted Post, was actually having I believe they had the fireman's party or something. Basically, we couldn't go. So, we go to the OG, for me, one of the best places in the city of Corning, hands down. One I will always hold near and dear to my heart. One in which, surprisingly, I don't really have any item on my full course menu from there, but what can I say? I guess I'm set in my ways. I don't know. But we went to Sorge's. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Sorge's is an Italian restaurant on Market Street in Corning. It's been around for many, many, many years. My father's store has done business with them for many years. In fact, in 2009, 2010, they actually had a very big fire. Needless to say, everyone in the city of Corning was devastated, so they all banded together to bring it back, which they did, and it was awesome. And, my father's flooring store definitely, helped out with the rebuild, which is great. I'll never forget the first time I went back into Sorge's, the first time it reopened too, because it was the final weekend before Memorial Day. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Memorial Day weekend is from Memorial Day to October, that is when every weekend my family and I are up at Cuca Lake. So if there's any place that we want to go to for dinner after church on Saturday evening that we haven't gone to yet, make your time to do it now, because after the last weekend, we are at the lake from late May until late September, early October. The point is, if you're going to do something, do it now, or quite possibly forever wish you had. It was that weekend, that particular year, we went to Sorge's. Now, I was slightly annoyed that we didn't really try making a run for libs. Because honestly, for something like this, libs is something you may want to consider doing if it's like your last time to be able to do it. So in honor of libs, I actually got the shrimp scampi from Sorges. And I was pleasantly surprised. In fact, it was on day 550. Wow, it's been so long. When I had said this, I had tried, ever since I had the shrimp scampi at Libs, even before I even came out with my full course menu, I have been on a mission like just to find any seafood dish that's just as good, or if not better than Libs. And believe me, I found some pretty darn good ones. I found, the Union Block Italian Bistro up at Cuca Lake has a good one. They have a really good seafood linguine at the Switzerland Inn, also up at Cuca Lake. And, I just mentioned Sorges. That's really good. In fact, Olive Garden was a very pleasant surprise to me once. Yeah, Olive Garden shrimp scampi. I recommend it. I liked it. But I can tell you right now, none of them hold a candle to Libs. And I'm sure that for those of you who are in the know or watching this, you're like, you're absolutely correct, sir. So, yeah. Actually, from what I heard, Libs had a pretty successful evening last night. Because I liked Libs on Facebook, so I got all their notifications and stuff. And they always say when they're booked full for the evening. I'm like, good. I'm really glad to see that, such a fine establishment, employed by very, very, very good people are getting, the business and recognition that they deserve. And I'm happy to do my part and say that Libs does a good job. Of course, Sorges made this into a Libs love fest. Alliteration. Anyway, I'm talking about Sorges now. Sorges is the OG. What makes Sorges so special is that we went there so many times in my youth. There's just so many things we had. I went from liking their chicken fingers there to now they have a really good steak that I really like. In fact, you can actually get your steak with blue cheese. Ever since I liked blue cheese, what can I say? I'm a blue cheese guy. Although I will say that probably my favorite cheese to eat, probably cheddar. I would say cheddar. Although there are some cheeses I will eat. Again, it's actually a great thing about doing these videos. I've actually been open to doing more stuff. Anyway, at Sorges, on Saturday nights, they have a salad bar and a pasta bar buffet. So, yeah. Again, I got my steak last night with, the blue cheese crumbles on it. So, didn't really do that. They have really great hand-cut fries. Their salads are unbelievable. And they have, the thinnest sliced onions ever. And it's amazing. Then again, you guys know me. I love my onions. And their minestrone soup was, the first soup that I legitimately was this is one of the best soups I've ever had. And by all accounts, it's still very good. In fact, the only reason why it's not the soup on my full course menu is because growing up, there was this place up in Cuca Lake called the Branding Iron. It's not there anymore. And they had the best wing and clam chowder and French onion there ever was. And sadly, I always got the wing and clam chowder, never had the French onion. But as I got older, I tried the French onion from other places. In fact, believe it or not, Trini Pauling actually made a really good French onion soup for lunch. And that got me hooked onto it. So, yeah. But I wouldn't have the love of French onion or New England clam chowder without first forming a foundation of liking the minestrone soup from, my notification, from Sorges. So, thank you to the good people of Sorges. In some ways, you guys are the GOAT. Actually, with Tony R's gone, don't get me wrong, in terms of, gray atmosphere, swinging, sort of, upper class sort of type stuff, the Southern Three Birds are definitely worth going to on Market Street. But in terms of just sheer hominess, is that a word? I think that's a word. And just having a good time. They don't hold a candle to Sorges. So if you have an opportunity to go to Sorges, I highly recommend it. Just like I highly recommend that you like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on the social media platforms, notifications on YouTube. I am very humble. I made this video for all of you guys who are watching. Joe for today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Remember, you guys are my talking channels with me here. So London here. I'll always have you back. Take care and make good choices. See ya. Sorry I did it that fast. It's just this video is kind of ignored on a while, and I may actually be running late for church.